Hello everyone and welcome to the next podcast coming from figuredrawingonline.com. These podcasts are free and are pretty much just a teaser for an example of what you can learn if you visit figuredrawingonline.com and buy some of the lectures. This podcast is a cut down version of the lecture on the foot. In terms of foot, I'm not going to draw the bones. There isn't much time for it, but rather we'll talk about how we create the mass of the foot, and essentially in the side view, probably the easiest way how to conceive the foot is a triangle or series of triangles rather that you can see maybe on this foot here. That is probably the easiest way how to break it down, and then of course you can modify the triangles with we can cut off the edge bit, so it becomes you transfer from the triangle onto a cube. In the front view, probably the easiest would be if I just draw in the lower leg, which on one of the lectures we talked about. You can kind of drive a straight line on an angle through the condyles of tibia and fibula. They create kind of an angle. In the front, probably the easiest would be to create maybe a box-like shape in front of which we would have a kind of a triangular top with maybe another box in the front, and that would give us roughly a shape. There's a curvature to the toes, and that is created by the distance and the size of each of the metatarsals that are, each toe has its own metatarsal. The second toe has the longest one, and therefore the length of the toes gets pushed down, and that is the kind of a high point. But that would be the easiest way how to conceive the mass of the foot. If you look at from the top view, of course you have the big toe there, and that would be kind of a shape of the foot. And there's a metatarsal of the fifth metatarsal, which is the small toes. That creates a bit of a jump out here. So that would be the general shape. Again, the second toe is the longest due to its bits that are longer than the others. On the inside, this bit here, and we're looking at the foot from the bottom, just to make it easier and simplify things. The bit here on the side is filled with a fleshy bit, which is called ductor hallucis. It's an adductor. It's a muscle that is attached to the big toe, and what it does is abducts. So it creates this movement outwards. On the other side, to balance all that, is abductor digiti minimi, which is just on the side here. Is a kind of because of the jump of the metatarsal here, the fifth metatarsal of the small toe, it kind of looks like it's got two portions, and that helps the foot to move in either direction. In general, I think the triangular concept works fairly well on this foot. For example, if we just draw in as a cylinder the upper leg coming down, we have the Achilles tendon in the back, and then the bony structure of the calcaneus here protrudes and defines this shape. Like we said, on this foot here on the side we have the abductor digiti minimi, which shows up on here as well. And then on the front there's a fleshy bit here created by the extensor digitorum brevis. On the side we have the condyle of the fibula, and just on the side of the leg we have the fibularis longus muscle that towards the bottom turns into a tendon and tucks behind the ankle bone, which is the condyle of the fibula, and travels below underneath the foot. You can see that that ridge here, same here. You can see how that's the tendon. So it's important to know these landmarks, because it gives us a good guide on where to place things, where to measure, where to think in terms of proportions. And then the foot kind of travels down with the metatarsal, and then with the toes, which are the phalanxes. And there. So just as a quick sketch, to give you some ideas of how to go about drawing a foot. Foot is usually considered to be hard to draw because of its complexity, because of a lot of its shapes. But muscular, in terms of muscles, there's not many muscles. It's more just tendons that follow a certain function. Like I said earlier, for the mass, you follow a kind of a triangle structure to place it in. You have a general shape that looks like that. Almost you could kind of simplify it into a pentagon kind of a structure, something like that. In the front view, of course, there's foreshortening, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to draw, but essentially there's a curvature, and there's a tendon coming down straight to the front, which is called the extensor hallucis longus, and that usually defines that's almost like a ridge on the foot where kind of it creates a divide for the plane brakes. So if you're getting a light from that side, usually this bit here is turned away from light, so it doesn't receive that much light. And of course you have the tendons here. So that's a really fast neck breaking speed. A lowdown on some basic advice on how to draw a foot. But of course, for more you will need to visit figuredrawingonline.com, where you can purchase a lecture on the foot as well as other body parts and learn. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. The next podcast will be on the shoulder girdle.